Welcome back to the VR League Onward Invitational, brought to you by Intel, our second series of today. And it is 1-0 in favour of Mob Squad. Pansy and Knife are with me. Looking forward to where the beginners can bring this back on Cargo. And after that first map, yeah, they need to shake that one off and do it now.
I think they're a team that can do it. I think beginners, having picked this map as Cargo, and it honestly being a pretty wild card pick, they gotta have some plans up their sleeves. And maybe they can do the same to Mob Squad that Mob Squad did to them, another 5-1 turnaround. I think beginners out of any team are capable of something like that.
You'd hope so. I mean, it's pretty intimidating to have a loss like that, to suffer a loss that drastically. The one round you win was kind of a unforced error to it. Like, you can bait that, and I'll let them have that. But I mean, it's very demoralizing. That's your first step on the stage. That's not how you want things to get going. So for me, I think, as you highlighted, you need to get this map going well. That first round is essential. It can boost and springboard you to a way better position. So hopefully that's in their minds. If it's their map pick, you've got to hope it's something. It's a specialist pick, right? Yeah,
and I think because the map is so tight and because it's so close quarters that I don't know if the Volk advantage is really going to play too big a factor into this. It's kind of anybody's game. And so maybe beginners going in onto Marsoc, they'll have that attack advantage. They could do something real interesting and get a nice start off with an attempt at a cap. Yeah. And get a nice 2-0 lead.
I hope so.
There was a few ammo incidents in that first map on Suburbia that we enjoyed. People running out, people maybe not having anything to replace it with. It's hard to tell, to be fair. But yeah, nevertheless, even with those sort of mistakes, Mob Squad just walked away with that thing. Yeah,
they're a very strong team, and they definitely performed up to my expectations, frankly. I really just want to see beginners pull something out so we can get to that downfall map, because I think that's going to be a real fun decider between both these guys.
So much in favor of Mob Squad that beginners are going to, you know, if they get there, then at least they got there. But I'm not confident about them playing Mob Squad on Mob Squad's map.
Yeah,
they left it in the pool. I mean,
yeah, so there's a reason, and we do want to know what that is. So it'd be good to see it and get to the bottom.
Yeah, I'm going to put it into the perspective, okay, map choice number 1 did go to the team who picked it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Done. Okay, we know that beginners do like a quirkier playstyle. They seem to have a couple of tricks up their sleeve that they're trying out. They didn't work in map 1. Push it aside. It's your map now. Let's lock it down. Let's play that better brand that we know we can bring. Yeah. They said that they are, you know, quite slow sometimes. They're quite passive. If they need to implement that, I don't know if you can in a close quarters map to the same degree. It's not as viable. But I mean, I don't know if you can even get away with it at the moment. They're being completely trounced. So for them, it's a mental reset that they need to do right here. And they need to just focus in on this is a brand new start. This is a fresh map, fresh start. You've walked outside, get some fresh air, get your head back in the game, because it needs to really start focusing up for them.
They also do, beginners I'm talking about here, seem pretty chilled. That's not a team who look like they just lost 5-1 in a really important competition. They're here, they're having some fun, they look very relaxed. And they are switching a player around as well. They brought 6 with them, they're going to make sure everyone's having a go, but they're not doing that just for the sake of being nice to each other. They've got a plan for a map. And it not only involves these strats that we're interested to see, why is this happening, why are we on Cargo? But they had also predetermined as well, well, if we get Cargo, we know who's playing on that. For Suburbia, it's different. For Downfall, it may be different again, we don't know.
Right.
But maybe we'll find out.
You theorized about the shield, right, coming out, and specialist plays, and I say specialist, it's purely because it's their preference, right? They have a unique style to it.
Yeah, it's something we haven't seen yet in this tournament, something that we should probably talk about. There is a shield, a riot shield in this game. It limits you to having a shield and a pistol in your hand, but you can do some pretty interesting things with that shield. You can flick it down, take a shot, flick it back up. That's just a flick of the wrist in real life, but your entire shield is dropping down, giving you a chance to take a shot and then coming back up.
For people who haven't played it, when you drop it down, how much of yourself is exposed to be fired back?
Probably your upper torso.
Okay.
But what these guys work on is doing that as fast as possible and timing your shots. It's a huge practice thing. It is not something that comes easily. I see a lot of guys try it and they end up bringing it back up and shooting their shield before it comes back up in time. It's a pretty common occurrence, but with someone real practiced, you can snapshot pretty easily. It's
you can't shoot round it.
You can't. You have to really tuck in there, though.
Okay.
As a big guy, again, the 6'4", maybe not wide so much, but my height plays a factor in games like this. And when you try and crouch, you really have to get low to get behind a small shield as a big guy. So maybe their sub is a smaller guy. That's going to be a shield user. Cool. There's anything's possible with this team.
Just get a bigger shield.
Just
get a bigger boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it does in the military.
Okay.
Yeah, they fit you for a shield. They have little tailors who work on this stuff, measure you with chalk lines, and then cut you a shield to fit.
No, I'm hoping we see something like that, especially from beginners. We've heard that they are creative in the way they approach the game. They are one of the more theory-crafted teams in that aspect. I'm hoping we see something fun here from them.
I think we will. I think they look like they're ready to deliver it. They don't look like a team who look beaten.
No.
And this is this invitational tournament that we're having, and we're helping support Stack Up through this as well. And it is a bit of a rematch, as I mentioned, of the last season championships. And all these teams, you know, they want to do well here. They want to show this thing. We love that we're doing a LAN for VR esports, which is still so much in its infancy.
It is so awesome.
So everybody here, you know, they want to do well. They want to win this thing, but they're also pleased to be here and having fun too.
This is a community here.
It is,
like,
right.
Taking nothing away, these players on this stage, they're playing their hearts out, but backstage, downstairs, they're all sitting down, all watching the games together. It's a real community feel to this. It's a great scene to have here.
So I think beginners will go, okay, we know we can do something here.
Get it done.
Yeah. Let's see what they've got. Mob Squad looking to play in the winner's bracket against Globochem, and beginners looking to take this to map 3. Let's go back over to Bowie and Radar, and let's go to Cargo.
Capitalize is the word I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
There we go. If you didn't hear, if you heard me stumbling over my words at the end of the last segment, that was why. Capitalize, and we're hoping, obviously, that beginners can capitalize on their pick here on Cargo. You were saying that this is their map historically.
Historically,
before the recycle happened and the update to this map happened.
This map went out of rotation a long time ago, but while it was in rotation, they were devastating on it.
Yeah.
Untouchable. So it'll be interesting to see if Mod Squad are aware of that. I mean, they've never played each other on this, and we're going into one
and go. Well, 0.
Let's do it.
So this is our first game. We have, this is a very, very
very small map. Lots of angles, lots of cover.
Bach. Get Bach. There we are. You can hear them.
I love the comms. Oh, and a beginner taken down straight. 2 beginners in one shot.
It looked like it came from behind, though. Almost.
No, it was a diagonal shot. It got both of them. Crazy.
Oh, wow, that is insane.
Look how low beginners all are here. There's still a res opportunity here, but they've lost one of those guys.
I look to the left and see all of them just lying down.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is one left who, out of the 2 who were shot by that diagonal fire, it was 1 KO and 1 down. So we'll see if beginners can save their teammate without taking any extra fire here.
Look how mobile this defense is from Plots. He's moving around. He's looking for any opportunity. He's making noise, though, and he's going to get picked off if he's not careful. I think in about 15 seconds we're going to see a dead Plots.
Yeah. We have had a change as well. Woods has been subbed in. It was mentioned by the analyst desk, of course, but there is Woods subbed in. Plots is maybe going to try and find his way there. Gets 1 KO. He will find...
I was wrong.
Maybe he'll find Woods too. Oh, wow. There was Woods waiting for him, but didn't get anything from that. Oh, and Woods eventually gets that.
I was like 5 seconds out, right? 10 seconds out. But they're both resable. Here's the interesting thing. Killinger and Sinkus, both resable. And we're going to see them get up. I'm very certain we're going to see... Right, Killinger's back in the game. Are we going to see Sinkus get rezzed? Why aren't they rezzing him? They're thinking about it. They're taunting him. They're stroking his foot. And
there we go. It was just a little bit of love needed there on the foot.
And look at that. Things. 4 versus 4. We're back in. At one point, beginners down to 2 players. Now it's back up to 4.
It's that's the thing. Making sure you get those KO confirms. Yep. They are very important to do now.
Like zombies, you got to double tap.
Yeah.
Double tap.
Was that rule number 1? No, it was rule number 1. Don't be a hero. Can't remember. But yeah.
So small map, and interestingly, you can't fire through any of these containers. They're all bulletproof, so there's no penetration shots. You have to make the shot count. But it's a very good map for grenades because it's so small, and there's not many places to hide from above.
But you can see here just how aggressive Squigookan has to be here. You got Sinkas and Woods just behind that crate over there.
They won't be expecting Squigookan in this aggressive a spot. But look, this is beginners again. Look how far back in the map they are. We're 3 minutes 30 in, and they're so far back.
Trying to, obviously all of them keeping it as well on the lower end of this map as well. Not kind of like heading up to the top side at all. Just kind of keeping themselves.
Look, listen, this is the patience. What did I say? Patience is the middle name. They're hanging back. They're waiting for Mob Squad to push up, do another flank. Squigookan's in a very good position here, but beginners haven't rushed out. They've not got gunned down. Maybe they will, but look, 3 minutes in, and they're still in the back 20% of the map.
Squigookan here really in enemy lines, looking to try and maybe get at least 1 KO, maybe a trade if possible, just going to like keep it as best as possible.
Oh, Sinkas has made some noise though. Squigookan's going to be aware there's someone to his right.
Yeah, you can see though with his body language here, just kind of like definitely kind of looking over to the left. But you can see Wood there. He gets a KO on Wood.
Yeah, you can fire through these pallets. There is penetration drop off though.
Yeah, Syncast staying low. If you're going to try and fire underneath.
Yep.
Sorry, yeah, that was that was your thought. And
no, you beat me to it. Oh, and it's a great shot from Syncast. It's 3 versus 3, 2 minutes 20 on the clock.
You did see, though, that Squigglekuchen did notice that. He was firing back, but just couldn't get the shot he needed to get underneath and really make a shot count.
Yeah.
3 on 3 now as we go into the last 2 minutes of this first round.
Interesting. Syncast is trying to res someone or something. No, he's taking his gear off him. That's what he's doing. He's taking his medications and ammo off the dead body. So Syncast pushing again. Look at beginners. We're 2 minutes in, and they are happy to sit at the back. I don't know. I mean, they're really limiting themselves here. Beginners are, like I said, repeatedly are well known for not being an aggressive players and just hanging back. But this is really
level, yeah.
Next level patience.
Okay, so we've got one of our players here heading out, just going onto the far left-hand side, staying in that in the darkened area.
Well, he's actually in a container. You can see there on the left-hand side, he's actually going through a small container where he's safe.
But look at where that Mob Squad player is, waiting on the far side. Let's have a look at that action and see how that goes.
I don't know that you can come out of there quite clear.
We have just been informed there's some slight technical issues. So we're going to restart this round very, very quickly.
Oh, that's such a shame. It was a
really interesting game, yeah. But I did notice what I can only call a little bit of like slowdown. Yeah, a little bit just there. So just going to make that all fair and do a complete restart of that round.
It was a really entertaining round up until that point.
And I think that's going to have a little bit of of mental knockback to you in the way you do that, in the way you're going to be approaching this, because you opened up with a strategy and tried to push something, a particular style of play through in that first round. It was going in a particular vein, but then that doesn't matter. So you've given away intel of your strategies for this first game.
Yeah, and it's really important because for beginners, they didn't give anything away. They're hanging back.
Yeah,
this is how beginners play. It's not a surprise. But for Mob Squad, they rushed forwards. One of the players rushed forwards and got a good opportunity. Now they're going to be ready for that.
Yeah.
So they're not going to repeat that. Mob Squad are almost definitely not going to repeat that because beginners are going to be waiting for them.
Yeah, at least definitely in the way they did it that time. They may potentially have the cojones to go in and do that again, but maybe in a different angle or to a specific direction or place on the map.
Okay, so looking down, you can see the players are taking their headset off. So I guess in this technical difficulty, it's going to have to take a few minutes to rectify. And we can capitalize on that by continuing to analyze.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit, obviously, whilst these players are getting themselves sorted.
Yeah. So one thing we didn't talk about in the last round, they got the uplink. Mob Squad got an uplink, giving them 5 points. They got 2 points from that, sending them 3 points to 5 points. Now, Nightfire kind of covered it, but for people who missed it, the way an uplink is sent in this game, you don't get close. There's no upload kind of bar. You get close. There's a code on the iPad, so you have to look at the code, memorize the code, get really close to the uplink. Then when you press the code button, it takes away the code, so you can't see the code. And it's an 8-digit code, so you have to memorize that 8-digit code, and then you manually press those buttons. You type in that code, and in a high-pressure situation, it's so easy to get the single number wrong. And that's all it takes. Or, the better players, or not even the better players, when it goes all right, you see someone go in there and they can send an uplink in 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah.
But that uplink took about 15 seconds, which is quite a long one. So either he'd forgotten the number, got a number wrong,
or just a little bit of shaky hand to kind of get all of those inputs. Yeah.
And you know what? At this stage, at this level, they're going to have shaky hands. And when you're trying to put that code in, you will shake and you will miss those numbers. It'll be interesting to see if we can actually get some footage of someone putting a code in. I'm not sure that's possible,
but if possible, we will be able to see that, to kind of see that in action. But maybe we'll perhaps see some more caps in the future. It seems like our players are getting their headsets back on. So at least on the side of Mob Squads. Mob Squad, there's no plural there, just a singular Mob Squad. I do apologize. Yeah, you're going to see him getting ready, maybe just kind of getting back into the game, preparing himself.
Beginners are still happy to...
I think the issue was on the beginner's side, because it seems to be there's a little bit of stuff going on, but...
Oh, beginners.
Well, that's how it goes, right? But regardless, that's just kind of how these things go. We're doing it live after all, and that is the magic of doing it live, eh?
Yeah. I mean, again, I'd said it before, but look at that sweat on Dr. Killing there. He's a fit guy. I got up this morning. He just got in from a jog at 8 a.m. And even he's sweating. He's feeling the heat. He's feeling the pressure.
Yeah, it's hot down there. I mean, it's hot up here, but it's even hotter down there. All those lights, being in the moment. it's not just the fact that it's hot. You know, your body kind of like reacts to the pressure in the situation. And these things just are natural, really.
You know, you're wearing this thing over your head, which, you know, it's not letting heat escape easily.
Exactly.
What they kind of need is someone to like waft them while they're playing, just a big kind of wafty person just to cool them down.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have just a quick look at some map 1 highlights as well. Just so we can kind of go over some plays here. You know, we were looking at, you know, this is the first game from map 1 here where Pupachu was going for that 1v4, managed to get a nice variety of KOs here. You know, as that time was slowly going down. This was the one that Mob Squad did give away because the time went down, but you can see here how Pupachu was just doing a great job.
Can you imagine if he'd managed to get that final kill?
Oh,
it would have been legendary.
Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, again, you know, you can just see, you know, that was the one game that beginners won. It was a timeout.
Look at this one. They're all in a perfect position, and his own grenade gets him. I didn't realize that his own grenade bounced back, and he got taken down by his own grenade. I didn't realize.
That was kind of where we had a little bit of a question there from beginners about how exactly he was trying to get that KO, but this was such a good position. 3-2, all 3 of them up here, and then our players just kind of like got taken down, and beginners didn't win this game when it looked very much in their favor.
He drops his magazine. Watch. He drops his magazine. When he goes to reload, he misses it. And, he can't get the kill. And instead of Arsene getting taken down, he takes down 2 of beginners' players, leaving only 1 defender left. And this is the one-on-one.
That's what happened. He dropped the mag, and that's really important.
Right.
You know, this brings in the another element of the technical side of it, where it's not just pressing a button to reload. You grab the mag, you take it out, you grab another one, you put it back in.
And you know, if you've used your last bullet up, you have to recock the magazine as well. You can't just keep firing.
Yeah. Yeah, our players here just... Okay, yeah. Our players are... yeah, that was... I mean, our players are still getting ready, but that was a very, very exciting first map, as we saw there. I think that it was actually kind of nice to re-watch that, so we can actually see what happened in that moment. But again, that does highlight, you know, that element of the physical side of things. Getting the accuracy, you know, to grab that mag, you know, take out a new one. You could see it was dropped. Maybe it was an empty one, we don't know, but he did not have a mag in his weapon at that point in time. Cost him his life, cost his team the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely cost them the game because they went from 3 defenders down to 1 defender and a one-on-one that they lost. If they'd had 3 defenders up there, you can't imagine one guy having such an easy time of it. Also worth talking about was that we saw Smoils. Again, ammo situation. He switched to his sidearm, but missed the shots. Now, the thing about the sidearms is they're quite weak. So if someone's got body armor and you do a center torso shot, it doesn't penetrate. Yeah. You have to hit with the legs or the arms.
And that ammunition choice obviously very, very important as well. Do you get more with the full metal jacket, or do you get a little bit less but the armor piercing ability as well? So what we're going to do quickly is throw it back to Matt and the analyst desk to kind of talk a little bit about the game again. Matt, take it away, sir.
Thank you, Bowie. Back here with Anti and Nightfire and some game soon. Not now. So talk to us about what we saw with the tablet, because that's a new thing, the latest patch.
Yeah, so the latest patch has added a lot of functionality in terms of being able to share your gear. Usually, before this patch came out, you would be...
Drop the nade.
Drop my pen.
Watch out.
That's why I can't be in VR.
I can pick it up and retrieve it for her now because of the patch.
Oh, you're just demonstrating. Oh.
True
Well done, Lauren.
Yeah.
Look what you did. You gifted it.
That's why I'm in these.
Okay, so if Lauren was to drop her tablet in game.
Yes. I think I can pick it up and then hand the tablet to her.
It's kind of amazing. Look, you don't...
It's almost like it's possible in real life as well.
It works.
Okay.
I have long arms.
It's amazing. Yeah, that's true. I'm like a little midget. I'm not allowed to do anything. Like, I'm very small. Very small. Like, the chairs have to be, like, cranked up to the highest to, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah. I haven't done it this time. Can you tell? I was halfway through a lasagna. It's very nice. Very tasty.
You're just blowing all the secrets of showbiz now, aren't you?
What, lasagna?
Esports lasagna is a thing.
Whoa, it was pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's...
So if you dropped a lasagna on the floor...
it would not serve me well.
Right, okay. But if you drop a tablet on the floor, you can still look at it whilst pointing cutlery or something else at the opposition.
Yeah, it's something I've never seen before, and there's a lot of... These guys are so good at this game, and they're so smart with the mechanics behind it that I'm starting, now that this patch has come out, I'm seeing all sorts of new things that I've never seen before because they're innovators. They have to. They're trying to be the forefront. So they'll put their pad down, take sight, down a line of sight, and then they can look down at their pad to gather information.
And that's going to tell you where your team are.
Yeah.
You're not getting all the details that we're getting on the mini-map, obviously. You're not getting opponent's position, but you are getting objective.
Right.
And your squad
Yeah. So if you're a squad leader, if you're leading your squad, you're the team captain, so to speak. That's a fantastic strategy to have to make sure that you keep your eyes on the battlefield at all times, but you can still hold the angles that you need to hold.
Yeah.
It's a really smart strategy that I'm going to use that stuff now.
I just like the way it's these small things. I say small, it's not small, but it's these differences that these teams work out that give them the advantage. I mean, there's very little between these guys. They're all very talented. That's the thing. All of them are very talented. They've got their own strong suits. Some are more tactical, some are more aggressive. You know, you can break it down however you want, but it's the small things like this that they sit there and work out and they try and implement and they see if it works, if it doesn't, and that could give you one kill, and that one kill could give you a game.
The shield flick strategy,
right?
Putting down your pad, all sorts of these little things that you can really hone your craft in. Using the mag tech is another thing that you can practice with. Using this mount is something you can actually practice with. Getting used to snapping in the controllers, using the magnets. But we also see players not using it. You don't have to. There's other strategies that these guys also innovate. They will sometimes rest their backhand on their chin, or you put it on your chest, so you can stabilize that backhand, and then all you have is your front hand drifting.
Yeah.
And even then, if you get your elbows tight, and you stabilize it off, so you get some very interesting bunched up positions to try and stabilize your aim, but it can be effective because you have that freedom to grab a nade real quick and toss it and then bring your gun back up and be locked right back into your sights.
I think it demonstrates how solid the physics model is of this, that you can do things like, I'm going to put the tablet down. It's not just a toggle.
I've learned on walls that aren't
or this thing. You've learnt on walls that aren't there.
Yeah.
I was trying out the sniper rifle first and I was like, ooh.
You mean walls that are there in game but not there in reality? Otherwise it's completely disagreeing with what I'm saying about physics model.
It's when they are in game, and funny enough, there's not a brick wall in front of me, and I go and you want to rest it down, and you're like,
do you rest in combat a lot, Lauren?
I mean,
you find like, I'm a bit weary, I just need to lean right now.
Have you seen how many of them lay on the floor? I mean, are you implying they all having naps? Is that
I thought they were going prone to avoid gunfire. They're just taking a little nap mid-game.
So they're going prone to avoid gunfire. I'm napping.
Here.
This is some bullying.
I back Lauren. I've seen people laying down between maps. Absolutely.
Between maps.
But between rounds too. If you're dead, you have
just chill out for a bit.
When you die in this game, you get sent back into the tent, and you can spectate your enemies, your teammates' first-person perspectives. You can toggle it to third person, and when you die, you sit back, you relax, you get your big screen TV up in front of you, and take a little break. You gotta rest.
It's not so bad. It's comfy death.
It's very cozy over there.
I did find out in the tent you can draw on the map. That was a lovely feature.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something that is a new addition, and I wonder if these guys are actually using it. I think maybe that's why we have longer,
actual time in between.
Yeah, I've never seen teams take time between maps. It's usually like, we're done with this map, let's go right next to the next one. They're taking like 30, 45 seconds. I legitimately wonder if they're using that map to their advantage and drawing up some plays on it.
They've also got to get off the ground.
That too.
Wake up, you know. These things take time, particularly for me. That does take a while. This is the VR League Onward Invitational, brought to you by Intel. Pleased to announce that the VR League moves forward into new territories, new futuristic ones. Echo Arena is coming to the VR League in August, and it's going to look like this.
In zero gravity, players fly faster. Passes go farther. Strikes hit harder. Stakes get higher. And victory tastes sweeter. This is Zero G in the Echo Arena.
Welcome back to the VR League. Thanks, of course, to Matt Pansy and Nightfire for the nice little breakdown there and kind of chat about Onward as we move forward. The game is back and ready and about to get underway, so we're ready for more action. We are going to be getting into our second map again. First round on Cargo, and obviously we saw before that that round had to be reset. Some very interesting plays. It's a very, very short, small map, but a lot of aggression coming out from
a lot of back and forth between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we go live.
You can see that countdown towards the back, and we are in to our first round of our second map, Mob Squad. Against beginners, again on cargo. So you can see here maybe a little bit of fast place moving and pushing forward already again from the mob squad. And beginners getting into their position.
Look at beginners now. They're wary of being as pushed up as they were before. They don't want to get caught with the pants down like they did last time.
Should be noted as well that they are on the other side of the map as well at this point, which they are not.
It's a different objective, of course. Yes.
They are not. Obviously, it's not a symmetrical map either.
No. So the objective was in the north before. Now it's in the south. Let's see how this plays out differently.
Remember, Mob Squad are still playing on the Volk side, and beginners on Marsok.
Look at this stack of beginners here.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them all in that one corner. Yeah. There's Arsenic.
Look at the Arsenic. He's on the floor and his gun is sideways to make sure he can get that shot underneath. You sacrifice aim, but it guarantees that you're not going to be hitting the cover in front of you.
Gone for a quick grenade throw there. We can see just catching up with Woods here and the team. Woods and the co there. Sinkas, Peasley and Smoils all together.
Look at that grenade. Did you see him throw the grenade? I love that.
Yeah.
He gets up, throws a grenade, doesn't catch anyone, but just the physicality again.
Yeah, just kind of, you can see he's just trying to find his position, trying to find if he can kind of get any movement from his opponents. Dr. Killinger here on screen, just kind of having a little bit of a move around. He moves down over to the left. You can see him at the back of the camera there. That is Dr. Killinger, I do believe. Moving around, grabs out the pad to check any information he can get. As we can see at the back, though, there was plots moving.
So I just want to apologize. It's a 7-digit code, not an 8-digit code. I just remembered.
That's all right. That one number does make a difference, I guess, in length.
It definitely does, yeah. But what we're seeing here again is beginner's patience, and sometimes it can make for the first half of the match to be quite slow.
A little bit of fire, but Mob Squad does lose a member of their team. I think it might be, if I can look at it at the back there. Is it Plots who's gone down? No, I think
Plots is dead, yeah. You can see him actually. I can see him standing there looking impatient because he's dead.
Yeah, he's gone down.
So this is where beginner's patience pays off. Again, I've said it before, they wait for the enemy to make any mistake they can, and they just did. And now they're capitalized moving forward now that they've got that still pick off.
That's the word of the show, I think, capitalize. They immediately put down a little bit of a smoke grenade and then moving forward. You can see now, you can see that little bit of aggression inside the crates. And there is fire coming out. Will Woods get this KO on Arsenic? How's it going to go here?
Oh, Woods down. We get Smoils laying down suppression fire. Woods is still alive. He's called out the position of Arsenic. Oh, Sinkas right there. Look how close they are.
Oh, wow. Arsenic with the absolute pinpoint precision behind that pillar.
Punishes them both.
Killinger as well, just stacking up, trying to find it. Yep. Is it another victim, though, for Arsenic?
Yeah, I think it might be, because, look, he's got just put a grenade over. It's a flashbang. He's looking for that pick off the same way. Oh!
But Killinger gets it, trades it. So, although Arsenic got 2 KOs, it is a...
The doctor just gave him the medicine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Here's your treatment, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no, absolutely. I'm all about that. They may not be, but I am. Don't worry.
Let's pun this out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so it's 3-on-3. Mob Squad in a strong position around the defense of that objective. They're not giving any opening. We can see, however, beginners are stacking up, having confirmed that they've cleared that area.
Killinger just getting the boost over there from Smoils, it seems.
That's a new thing, by the way. Yeah, you can boost people over, so that's a very new thing. He's boosted them over that bit of cover, which previously you wouldn't have been able to get over.
It's really big, though, because this means that Killinger has got a major flank. Poopachu may be aware of it, though, keeping an eye on that right-hand side, knowing that the team are behind that major...
I don't know. Look where he's sweeping. I don't think he's sweeping enough.
He's not enough. You can see Killinger coming around the side now. Does he get the KO? No, he does indeed.
Yeah, Killinger kills him off. Poopachu not expecting to be there, but Killinger gets refragged. He's down.
Oh, wow, look at how far back as well Semper is. He's really, really far back.
Yeah, our Semper was ready for it, though. He's coming in for... Look, Killinger is still resable, and will we see a res? It's going to be close. Our Semper's not checking it. Killinger's back up in the game. It's 3 versus 1.
It's looking really good right now for beginners, although saying that Semper does get a KO again.
Oh, it's 2-on-1. Our Semper switching around now. He knows he took down Killinger there. Maybe he doesn't... Maybe he realizes it was just a single.
But he's got to be careful because there are 2 beginners waiting around the side. He's facing the wrong way, it seems.
Oh, he cannot give up that objective. He thinks he killed Killinger. Look, he's not checking the area behind him. He's not checking his full flank. He's open to be attacked from the one place where they are.
You can see he needs to look around in that particular direction. You can see Killinger. Oh, wow.
The psychology involved right now. He has no idea where the enemy are. He's panicking. Look at his body language.
Yeah, you can see he's moving a lot faster. He's just trying to keep his eye out as much as he can.
Yep.
You can see that the pressure is on him right now. Oh, wow, you can just see.
1 minute left on the clock. Arsempa searching desperately for beginners. Doesn't know how many are left. He probably assumes that there's at least two.
And it's definitely, wow.
Oh,
okay.
he takes down Killinger.
Semper with an incredible shot there. And at
Double, triple tapping.
At this point, though, this is the question. Before, when it was 2-on-1, they had the opportunity to try and pressurize for a cap. But now Peasley looking to maybe...
Oh, wow. Look how close this is coming now. We can see Peasley and Arsempa maybe 20 meters in between. Closing, 15 meters. It's a trade! Mob Squad get it! It's a trade!
Mob Squad get it?
Yeah, wow.
But I thought, wow, okay. It seemed like Beginners got the first KO, but because it was a trade, it went over to Mob Squad.
No, I think, from my perspective, it looked like Mob Squad might have fallen down second. I could be completely wrong, by the way. But either way, Mob Squad take round one. How close can you be? Nobody survives that. Nobody goes home. But Mob Squad take home at that point.
Oh, and there we can see it, yeah.
Instant replay. Yeah, Arsempa falls second.
Yeah, that was very, very close. But look at the timing on that. That is...
Wow.
Mere milliseconds.
If you were beginners right now, you'd be swearing in inappropriate ways. You'd be saying some very, very naughty words.
Yeah, absolutely. But as we saw, Semper making it looking a little bit easily peasily there for him.
I don't know. I thought he was panicking, but he brought. You know what? He ran around panicking, and then he took a moment, took cover, took out Killinger. Repositioned because he knew that he'd given away his position.
I think that KO or that kill on Killinger was very important. It was such a long range. It was such a nice find to catch him, especially because it realigned himself to where his opponents were.
Yep.
I think in that 2-on-1 position, you know, when you're trying to find a way in at first, it's going to be maybe you're trying to realign with each other and then spread out. So he knew at what side of the map his opponents were on, and it allowed him to refocus, calm down, and just be a little bit more precise in his clearing up of Peasley in the end.
No, one of the key things here is that communication in this game is so important, and communicating when you get a kill is equally important because then you know how many enemies are left, right? Yeah. So I feel like beginners didn't know there was only one guy left because they were playing very, very cautiously. And we're into round 2, map 2. Beginners on defense.
Yeah, so let's have a little quick check-in. Arsenic with a shield, a riot shield and pistol. Let's have a little quick listen into the comms here as well.
One going right. Where? Hallway? No, he circled back to left. Okay. All right, ready?
Ready.
Oh, he's on our stuff, right? Negative.
Negative. That's so the terminology being used there. All right.
Plant's moving in a very aggressive position here, killing her.
Wow, he gets a down on Sinkas. Sinkas will be revived though.
But look at Killinger's position here. He knows if he goes out through there, Killinger's got him. And nobody's grenading the area. Nobody thinks Killinger's there.
Plots gets a follow-up on Sinkas as well.
Sinkas is out.
Plots doing very nice. He's very aggressive. Killinger looking...
Punishes him. Punishes him. Okay, right side. But Arsenic has called it now. He's seen that fire. You heard the communication. Right side. Look at this. Guys down with the shield, stacking up.
Yeah. I love as well, you know, even though it is a small space, Arsenic's still trying to make use of those lines he can find. You know, that long range mentality is just still in his head.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's smoke hallway and get in there, okay?
Oh, I love it. Just listening to them discussing tactics. What are we going to do? What's our approach here?
No. Smoke the left side of the hallway.
You can see the gesturing as well. You can see that that physical element again, just coming back to the game. Really intriguing. Poopachu with a grenade in.
It's a smoke grenade. Let's see the create a distraction.
Second smoke going out.
The coordination, I love it.
It's so cool. Okay, see, now they're going to be using that cover to push forward. They are maybe aware that Killinger is behind that box if they saw what happened to Plots at that point.
But they aren't covering it. They're not looking. They saw fire come from somewhere in that general direction.
Hallway.
Arsenic seeing it, gets down.
But now the person in the hallway is repositioned. He's given away himself, and you can just see him legging it away from that position now. So he's no longer in the hallway, and they think that there's someone in the hallway, which is going to hold them back. They're going to be scared of that now.
Yeah. If you look on the far right-hand side of the map as well, there is one solo player to Mob Squad, who it looks like they've had a KO as well on the side of beginners.
Oh dear.
So it is 3 to 4 right now as Mob Squad looking to kind of take another lead. And look at how deep they're going as well. Mob Squad really pushing forward.
Yeah, look at this defense now. 2 players down. It's 2 versus 3. You can look at the mob squad in the southwest corner.
Yeah, you can see that line between Squigookan and...
Semper in a very commanding position here.
Arsenic just grabbing again that shield. That does pick himself up.
He's grabbed, what he's done cleverly, he's picked up a Volk weapon. So now when he fires, it's going to sound like a friendly fire weapon to beginners. Oh, 2 versus 1 now.
Interesting. So it should be noted as well that obviously Volk and Marsok do have... Wow, okay, nice. Good victory there to kind of confirm that one and got that KO. So it is a 2-0 for Mob Squad.
Oh, beginners have got to be feeling this pressure now. This is their map, and they're 2-0 down.
Yep, that is indeed true. It's really interesting as well that you bring up the whole thing about having a Volk weapon will sound the same. You know, there are different weapon sets for Volk and Marsok. If obviously this is your first time checking out Onward, this is a very important thing that both sides have their own and unique sounds and their own unique loadouts. So you know, being aware of the sounds that you're hearing, not just a sound, but what kind of sound is it, is very important.
That's a great point because it's a psychological, subconscious thing. When I hear, like when I'm playing this and I hear gunfire behind me and I hear an engagement, the last one that shoots, if that's from my team, I think my teammate has won that engagement.
Yeah.
So I can relax. However, if the enemy's picked up one of my teammates' guns, now I'm relaxed and there's an enemy behind me and I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
So it was a clever play. And their communication, I mean, I love this. That was a perfect example of how communication can win this game. Mob Squad talking, straightening up their tactics, calling out targets, and look, they took the match convincingly.
Yeah. And I think it was just the speed at which it kind of ramped up for them as well, because beginners are playing this kind of slower style, but as soon as Mob Squad were connected and communicative, it immediately just kind of sped up for them. They had decisions, they made plays, and they kind of dominated as much as they could from that. And it was just very, very strong. I think Arsenic as well with that riot shield did a very, very good job. Plots getting ahead. It cost him his life, but taking out an early enemy, getting a little bit of intel on positioning, allowed the rest of his team to then find the positions that they needed. And
it throws beginners off kilter. They don't know that there isn't another enemy coming from that direction. They've got to cover that. They have no idea. And what we're seeing here now is beginners are on the back foot, but you can't count beginners out. They're an unshakable team. They hold up well under pressure. Yeah, Mob Squad, though, proving that even though this is not a map that they're associated with, they can adapt and they've practiced it and they're ready.
Yeah. And I mean, we saw on that map as well, on that round rather, from Mob Squad, Squigookan just going so far out, and he was like separated from his team. They just trusted him to just do what he needed to do, lay down fire, get as much information as possible, and just trusted him to do his own thing.
No, you can't underestimate the importance of distracting the enemy in this.
Gonna push.
All right, round 3, map 2. Beginners on attack.
I'm staying right here.
What do you mean?
Okay, so staying right, Syncast going down this left-hand side. Oh, wow, you can already see someone has already kind of covered that spot as well.
Look at this aggressive defense again. Someone already in the mid position. It's Squigookan again, pushing up heavy, taking that middle ground.
Squigookan always, picking these very particular spots that are just really, really good for, supporting teammates with aggressive defense, as you say it.
But look over to our left right now. 3 out of 5 of beginners team lay down on the floor.
Yep, absolutely prone. Yep. Making sure that they're going to be as safe as possible, making sure they're as hard as possible to find.
Firing under all those angles. But I mean, Squigookan's defense here, it's an aggressive play, and it's going to catch beginners out if they try and push too heavily, which they won't because it's beginners. They're going to be patient. They're going to wait for Mob Squad to make a move. At the moment, we're just watching 2 teams of statues, pretty much.
Yeah, but I mean, thus far, this patient play has been kind of falling around for beginners. These smaller maps, as we know, are a little bit, more hectic. Yep. So, maybe Mob Squad can keep pushing the way they have.
Look at that! Look at that camera view right now. That's perfect. We've got 2 guys lying down behind the 1 guy who's crouched. Brilliant, and they're all static, waiting patiently for an opening.
So that thing, that really that truest vibe of Milsim.
Mm-hmm. Patience, patience, patience.
Woods at the back. Killinger just kind of taking their time. They are in this nice little kind of inverted V formation here.
But Mob Squad aren't making any mistakes. They're not showing any impatience. They got it pick off last time beginners was on Marsok. and they got picked off. One of the mob squad defenders got picked off, and I don't see that being repeated right now.
You can see our teammate there just communicating as best they can with their radios. Killinger suddenly standing up, looking to make a move as we see one of our players on the far left-hand side. Oh,
wow.
One KO.
Killinger takes him down. Squigookan pays in that position. It didn't pay off for them.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting part of it. Although Squigookan is doing some serious stuff, it is costing him a little bit of time. We're just going to go and swing in there and see that angle.
Yeah.
Nice stuff there from Killinger.
But the point is, you know, this is a top-tier team. He's looking, where would I be? Where's the one place that's the most effective that would stop me right now? So he comes out aiming at that spot.
Yeah.
The enemy could have been anywhere, and he comes out pre-aiming that one spot.
Yeah,
just because that's what a good team would do.
We've still got this kind of weird arrow kind of formation and a bit of a horseshoe coming out from Mob Squad. They've got this kind of far right side covered at this current point in time, as we do see.
This is a risky defense here. We've only got one guy on the objective. Now, beginners can't know that, but I mean, if they're able to penetrate. Okay, so that one guy. Okay, so there's a guy rotating back and forth.
Yeah.
On the objective back.
I believe it's Semper, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Plot's in the center on the objective right now. Oh, fire coming out. Someone saw something, but no actual connection and reward.
Yeah, I think that was probably on our Semper. They're probably someone caught. Side of him. Plot's now in an aggressive defensive position here. We can see a lot of movement from the defenders.
There's the smoke grenade. Plots has seen that. It's definitely where it goes.
Flashes out on top of the... He's flashed, and he's down.
Wow, immediate there from Plots. Wow. Wonderful play, and he does have the regular grenade. Primes it.
Two beginners down. Oh no, it's a double kill!
Plots is making this work for his team. Absolutely amazing.
So they called it one left. That communication right now, they know there's only one beginners left, and that puts a lot of pressure on Peasley. 1 versus 4, and they know it. And Peasley's going to get taken out by Arsenic any second now. 3, 2 and a half, and I'm wrong.
Plots does it. Plots got pretty much every single KO there. What an amazing bit of play from Plots. That was...
I want to make a pun about his name, but I can't. Oh,
there it is.
There it is, the confidence.
That was, almost.
Team wipe. Wow, beginners now 3-0. This is not what I would have called at all. This is beginners strong map, and they are on. This is it.
I've got it. You know, Plots was the author of that match. There you go.
Yeah.
He wrote the plot.
Yeah,
come on, keep up.
It was
I thought you were sitting there going, I don't get what you mean. Sorry.
No, it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that for now.
I feel like you didn't capitalize on.
Oh, here we go. No, don't. You can't sit there and just like throw that back in my face. I remembered the word.
Yeah, you did. I'll give you that.
Eventually, not before the end of the break.
There was a beautiful moment when we went downstairs and he just turned to me and went, "It's capitalized." It's capitalized.
And you're like, "What are you talking about? Why are we doing this?"
Anyway, so we are in. This is it. Beginners is on the back foot. If they lose this,
3-0 down.
Mob Squad take the series.
Yeah.
And they're going to be going against Globochem.
I think the thing they need to do here is, you know, they need to get. They can't just muck around and just win the game. They need to get this cap.
Yep.
Because that will change everything.
I don't know that they do, because they're on 3 points right now.
No. Sorry, beginners need to get the cap, because you know, otherwise they're winning 4 matches. They need to get this now.
Yeah, they do.
It will just make such a big difference to the way in which they have to go forward. But Mob Squad 3-0 up.
Yeah, and beginners are on defense at the moment, so they need to stop Mob Squad from getting through to that objective. If beginners can take this defense, then they stand a chance of pulling this back, especially if, like you said, they get a cap. It'll put them straight back in the game on a 3-3 even keel.
Look at this push as well from Arsenic. Straight up. He's got the right shield out, going down the long crate as well. They know that they are near victory. They're going to try and pressurize as much as they can.
Look at that brilliant team play.
Look at Plots as well, right up in the center, pushing as far up as he can. Arsenic and Poopachu together.
Plotting how to push forward.
There we are.
I'm sorry.
No. Absolutely fine.
Okay, so we can see we got a 3-man stack pushing down the tunnel. A 3-man stack. That's risky. A single grenade or one very lucky person leaning around and firing. Plot's down.
But it did seem like he managed to get a couple of a down and a KO on his side though as well.
I did not see that coming again. Beginners down to 3 defenders, 1 resible.
Arsenic though through the smoke will try and push forward. Throws out a grenade. Doesn't catch anyone. It went a long way though. Wow, crikey.
Yeah.
That is one hell of an arm.
Yeah. That's pretty much how I throw grenades. They go too far and don't do anything to anyone.
Yeah, that is the strat.
In games, by the way, I don't throw grenades in real life.
Yeah. At this point, there is still a resible teammate, but currently, if you look on the map where the KO is and where the down is, it's very hard for our one remaining beginner player on that side to get there without
this stack. Look at it, 3-man stack on this corner. This is precision. Look, he's leaning around with the between Poopachu and Arsenic. It's like poetry. They're just perfectly in time.
This is very important now for Woods and Peasley to get this the way they need to.
Look at them, they're basically stuck together. It's amazing. Arsenic and Poopachu, just one unit moving perfectly.
Woods is going around the opposite way, though. Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Woods rotating around now. He could catch them both out.
Far side. Oh, looking up. That was a down on the side of four Mob Squad. I believe that was indeed Woods who went down.
Yep. He was rotating. He got caught out. There's 2 Resible, though, still.
This is very, very scary for beginners now.
Peasley makes a kill, so it's a 2 versus 3 with 2 Resible now on beginners' side. If they can get those residues.
Smoils! No, he doesn't get it!
He doesn't know! He doesn't know!
Wow, Smoils goes down.
Oh,
this is all on Peasley now to get the res if possible.
Oh, it's going to be a risky res. He's got to have to go for it, though. He can't hold this by himself.
He gets the res. Two versus 3.
Beginner's still in this. Beginner's still in this.
Don't go out there, Woods. Oh, he gets one now!
Is there going to be refrag, though? He made a lot of noise.
He's right here. He's right here.
Poopachu could lean around. He's waiting for it. And it's a clean kill.
Okay, so Mob Squad.
2 versus 1. A res still capable. Possible. But look at that positioning. He's nowhere near the sole beginner's defender is nowhere near the objective.
This is so hard now. Peasley is there. He just needs to get past these 2.
It's a 1-on-1 now.
Oh, wow, what a fantastic KO. And it's Arsenic with his
shield.
shield.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, the bleed out timed out. It is a 1-on-1. This is it for Peasley. Either he wins this or they are going to the loser's bracket.
All right, but don't forget, he can pick up a weapon off a down body. He can pick up a gun like a main weapon now and really go for it. But he's not. He's sitting in the corner. Does he realize he's by himself? Is he expecting Peasley to push up on him? He's playing very defensively now.
The thing is, 2.5 minutes. Remember, all that has to happen is beginners have to hold.
Yep.
Mob Squad have to make something happen. They have to get in there and do that uplink, but...
And you know what? He's got a shield and a pistol. You know, the pistol is not effective. Well, obviously, it's not effective compared to an assault rifle.
Absolutely not. But it's going to be very important. Maybe it's just a good idea for Peasley just to hold on to...
Has he switched to a main weapon now? It looks like he may have dropped the shield. I can't tell just...
If we can get a quick spectator.
Oh, look, he's got a main weapon now. He's holding an LMG with a shield.
But he's going to drop that shield, I think, when he wants to get a bit aggressive, if possible. Oh, yeah. Arsenic now just trying to reposition himself.
Fantastic play. He's got an LMG, the shield. He's not going to fire with... Oh, he's probably going to drop the shield once he gets into position. He's just using a defensive tool to move up on the objective.
Yeah, look at that focus on his face, though, as well. He's just trying to find his way in. He's being very, very cautious, making his way... Oh, but you can see, if you look to the left, there's Peasley looking towards the objective, which is exactly where Arsenic...
Oh, this is intense. Beginners on the back foot. It's 1 versus 1. Peasley versus Arsenic.
And here we are looking at Peasley. Oh, and look to the right-hand side. He's right there. Don't do it.
Oh, my God. You can see that silhouette there. If he holds position here, he should catch Arsenic out. It's a question of
unless Arsenic turns to the left-hand side, which he might do.
Oh, no. I can't watch. Let me know what happens.
His back is open.
Oh, no.
This is not okay.
So Peasley moving around now. Not moving, sorry. Wait, will he get... Does he have an angle here? Not quite.
Peasley needs to come out, but he's so scared because this is everything. He's got his eye on that thing. He's in the darkness. He's in the shadows. He has got his eye on that.
The pressure is on now on Peasley. He's the last hope now for beginners.
Look at Arsenic pull back immediately as well. This is so in their head. Both
45 seconds on the clock. He's going in for an objective. He's got a pistol out now.
This is exciting. He's going to come forward, and Peasley!
Oh, he takes it! Beginners are still in this!
Oh, we got a game.
Wow, that was intense.
It's not over yet. Beginners just holding on, but there it is.
I'm feeling like my blood pressure is up right now. Imagine how Peasley's feeling right now. His heart rate must be so... I wish we had heart rate monitors on people so we could see the spikes. It would be amazing what we'd be seeing right now.
Yeah, that was so close. But Arsenic was so tentative and just moved forward so closely, pulled back, and then he just stood up and tried to speed up a little bit.
So one thing that might not be obvious to our viewers is when you're holding... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's Peasley there towards the back there in the center of our shot.
Yeah,
the
hero.
Yeah, the hero himself. Just feeling the pressure there and just needs a moment just to relax and let that game, you know, just wash out of the system. He's done what he needed to do. It's not over yet.
So what might, yeah, absolutely. What might not be immediately obvious to the viewers is that when you're using an assault rifle or an LMG or anything that isn't a pistol, if you fire one-handed, the gun pulls straight up. Like you'll get one shot in position and then the gun flies upwards, you know, so that you can't run around one-handing things.
Yeah.
So what we saw then with his shield and that LMG was actually not a great combo because it meant that he could get a few shots off, maybe if he'd seen Peasley, but the first one would have to, no, the first one or two would have to connect because he would just lose all accuracy. Yeah. So that's why you see everyone holding the gun with two hands, and that's why it's so important to have, like, a lot of people use the stock because they need to keep the front of that gun still, just like with the back.
Yeah. So now we're getting into our 5th round here. Beginners hanging on by a thread after that very intense play between Arsenic.
But they're still massively on the back foot. I mean, it's 3-1 to Mob Squad and Beginners are on assault. And as we've seen today, Volk have won.
Okay.
What? This is what I'm talking about. Avenues of Fire. Beginners were ready. They just got it picked up a double kill.
That is an insane start to this final game.
That was Peasley, I think, again, proving his worth today.
Also, really, really good position for them to make some sort of, you know, aggressive play on that, onto the objective. If they get a cap, it's 3-3.
Again, it changes everything. Beginners are 5-3 up. They're in a very commanding position. Mob Squad are going to be rattled by that. There's only 3 of them left. And they have to be on the objective. Look at the positioning. It's all relatively close to the objective.
Yeah.
The mobility that they had as a defensive team has been lost because of those 2 players going down.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it's kind of nice to see that like immediate moment just to kind of pick off 2 players. You can see it on the map. Yeah, I can see it looking down.
You can see that line. Thanks, map guys. You can see the line going straight down, and those 2 players try to convert over to the south-east corner, and both got caught out as they did. Just a line of fire was suppressed straight down, and it caught both of them.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I mean, they should have really gone in with smoke grenades if they were going to make a play like that. You can't assume that a team like Beginners is going to let you get away with that.
Yeah, these lines of sights, you know, the linearity of certain areas is really important and cannot be understated. You know, you need to kind of have some kind of setup if you're going to be making players like that. And now we hit the silence again, the silence of these games.
Yep, Beginners. I'm telling you, but this is Beginners to a T. Yeah. But it works. Look, there's 5 versus 3, and they're going to be going for that cap. They know they need that cap.
I think as well, it's, you know, from Mob Squad, we have...
No, what's happened? Oh, we've got 2 beginner players have dropped.
From the game.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And one of Mob Squad is alive now? Something very strange has just happened.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a thing. We're going to get that checked into.
Unfortunate.
We're gonna, some of our players have taken off their VR headsets. It seems like
they are not happy. Okay, not a bit of confusion reigning at the moment. We can see that there's supposedly 4 Mob Squad alive, even though we saw 2 die.
We'll get that clarification as soon as possible, but obviously we'll. It seems like, I mean, because we do have 2 players out of the map now, apparently, so I assume this will be reset. But that's such an unfortunate thing because that start was so important.
Beginners could not have asked for a better start, and
they couldn't.
Blown up for them now.
I saw a lagging clock.
Yeah, we'll get that to you as soon as possible, but we'll just kind of at least for now, have a look at the positions of our players and just kind of see what our players were having to deal with before this happened.
But you can see they're playing on. Look at Mob Squad. They're not taking anything for granted. There's 3 of them still holding positions. We can see that Beginners obviously...
Yeah, it should be noted as well.
Right now.
It should be noted as well that the player who did come back is not continuing. It was Plots and Arsenic were the 2 that went down, and they both currently have their sets off at this point in time.
It'd be interesting to how they go forward with this, because this is going to rattle Beginners. If you restart this round, as Beginners, you would just be so disheartened.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, it even seems like, the players from Beginners who are, I mean, it's gone down to 2 to 3. Everyone's dropped out of game. I think the players are exiting game, and they're going to do a reset if possible.
Maybe, but they're still playing. Look, Sinkus and Smoils, maybe they're just treating it as a practice round. I don't know.
Or maybe they're just kind of like not able to hear. Maybe we will perhaps have someone just step in, give them a little tap on the shoulder, and say, you know what, it's it is what it is. It seems like a couple of our players are back into the game.
This is very confusing.
There you go. It happens sometimes, I guess. We are going to restart that round, though, of course.
Unfortunate.
Due to the sock going.
Listen, live event, this stuff happens.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you can't prevent these things from happening. It is technology. It's not always going to go exactly the way you want it to go. That is the beauty of technology and the beauty of live shows. And that's why we're here to be silly for a little bit and kind of, you know, keep you guys entertained in your home places of viewage. I've
got to give it to beginners, though. Look at the composure. That must be a really stressful event. But they're not throwing they're not spinning the dummies out. Obviously, they're not happy with the event, but
with the event with the
no, sorry, not the event. That event of the bug taking place. No, they're loving the event, as I said.
Of course, yeah. No, it's I would be severely miffed if I was in such a commanding position in that game.
It really was.
It really was. I mean, like a 3v5 at that point. You know, it may have been a moment to kind of completely bring it back, but. It's you know, and the thing is to take out Plots and Arsenic. You know, Arsenic, you know, who's said to be one of the the most dangerous long range.
And we've seen Plots got 4 kills in that other map. You know, you took out potentially the 2 best players at the moment for Mod Squad, and it's unexpected. And I feel so sorry for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be having to kind of just get back into that mindset and just try and maybe find a start like that. You know, which is comparable, but
you're not going to get a start like Mob Squad. Aren't going to make that mistake again. If it is the same objective, they're not gonna risk it. They just lost 2 players. It's not gonna happen again. And I feel so sorry for beginners.
Yeah, I mean definitely as well. You know, the error they made by not covering their tracks by doing that. They're gonna, you know, it's not just on the fact that you know, beginners capitalize so well on what they did, but also the fact that, you know, there was an error of such a magnitude made by the Mob Squad, and it gives them that second chance to not make that error again.
Absolutely, and there's like someone smiling on them. So you know what, they had a snafu. Let's do a rewrite.
Yeah, indeed.
I feel sorry for them. I'm really proud of you by using capitalize in such a manner.
Okay, yeah. I also just to remind you as well, obviously, that we are supporting Stack Up, a charity that does help veterans, you know, reacclimatize to their civilian life after their service. If you do want to support the charity, you can go to esl.im/donate to donate any amount you can or want, obviously, to support the charity. And if you do donate at least $5, you are entered into a grand draw to win an Oculus Rift set, which is quite exciting if you want to get involved in some VR.
I've entered it, and I'm hoping I win.
Excellent. Well, best of luck to you, sir.
I need me an Oculus.
Yeah, it's been pretty exciting to kind of see the way it helps you kind of like just completely evolve the way in which you interact with games. And, you know, we're seeing it not just from a casual sense, but also here from that competitive side of things. Yep. The physicality, the intensity, the immersion is all there.
Absolutely. Do donate. I mean, it's for a fantastic cause.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we've had a few interviews with members of not only the charity, but I believe a couple of the beneficiaries as well. You know, the ones who do get helped by the charity, and it's great work they're doing. And obviously, we're more than proud, obviously, to support them. So definitely exciting to do.
So do you think beginners stand a chance of pulling this back? Especially now that's what's happened to them, that's going to be reaffirming Mob Squad's dominance. They made a snafu, they've got off the hook, and now beginners again, 3-1. I think not in their favor.
I think beginners have the chops, but Mob Squad have been given a second chance, and I think that's more to be said. I think the reset is going to... this may sound like it makes no sense whatsoever, so bear with me here when I say this. It's going to positively affect Mob Squad much more than it's going to negatively affect beginners. If you see what I mean.
I do.
Because, you know, that may sound like it makes no sense whatsoever.
No, it does. It's like Groundhog Day. They made a mistake and not going to make it again. Yeah. So beginners are going to be annoyed, but they're not going to be as relieved. You know, because in relativity,
that happened not because of not because of what beginners were doing, but because of what Mob Squad did.
Yes,
and that, I think that's what I'm talking about. That was a huge error on them to not cover their tracks, and that's why they were punished. Yep. So that's kind of why I say that, I guess.
You know, in my position, if I was beginners, I'm not sure I could concentrate in this last match. If they managed to pull this out, kudos to them, because I would be so rattled from that. Imagine that emotion. You're playing the game and you've got 2 of them down.
Yeah.
You've confirmed 2 kills. You're in a commanding position, and
you're on the offensive side as well. You know, you're the ones trying to get the 2 points. The 2 points are available to you when you're on the Marsoc side. So I think that's even more, isn't it? That's even more in your head. You know, you had that start for a Marsoc side. Yep. If it was defense, you know, maybe you could. I mean, you're more likely, I guess, to kind of be less stressed out by the loss of such a huge advantage than if you are on Marsoc.
Yep. So we've got Mob Squad now, obviously 3-1 up, proven that it doesn't matter whether they're on a map that they're famous for being really good on, like Downfall. They destroyed Beginners on Suburbia, a map that most people wouldn't have realized Mob Squad was so dominant on.
Yeah.
And then on Cargo, the map that is kind of assumed was going to go to Beginners, or at least Beginners was going to put up a better fight. Unfortunately, you know, it's 3-1.
Yeah, it was their pick, and thus far it's kind of, you know, gone very much against them. I mean, we saw incredible play in that round 4, obviously, to get Beginners back in the game, but I think the ones that, you know, went in Mob Squad's favor have been so particularly in their favor. And I think that's the interesting thing about it.
You know what, you can't see it, but Globocam are sat down there watching this, front row seats, taking notes, because they know whoever wins this, they're going to be facing, and they must be seeing Mob Squad now and questioning. I mean, they beat Mob Squad in the final for Season 4, right? And they did it convincingly. Now they must be watching this and and questioning, because they know how good Beginners is as a team.
Of course, yeah. And I think it's not going to just inform the way they're going to approach the games, but also, you know, the maps they pick, and, you know, then the loadouts going into that. There's so much you can get from watching the other teams play, because, you know, I think one of the most exciting things about competition, as a fan of competitive anythings, really, is that and I guess also the liveness of events, and why I've always preferred live to recorded stuff as a whole. Don't worry, it's a complete other avenue. I'm not going to go down there. But it's that fact that we all are different every single time we do something. You know, this is how they're playing right now. Doesn't matter how well they played yesterday or how they might play tomorrow. It's about how you're playing right now.
Absolutely.
And how much information you can glean from what you're seeing happening right in front of you. So Globocam sitting there taking notes, saying this is currently the level of, you know, this is the aggression that Plots is putting out. This is the communication that Arsenic is commanding from his team. These are the kind of things that we can pick up on, and it's very, very interesting.
You make a great point there. And also, you saw how commanding they were on Suburbia, right? We've got the ban list here for this map. We've not seen Suburbia banned yet. Two games in a row, 2 different teams, sets of teams, 4 teams in total. Suburbia has been played. There's a chance, you know, if I was Globocam seeing how commanding Mob Squad were on Suburbia, I'd be questioning whether I'd be banning that if they do face Mob Squad today in the upper bracket final. If I was in their shoes, I wouldn't want to face them on Suburbia.
Absolutely not, absolutely not. So what I'm going to do is just throw it back to Matt quickly, just so we can break down a bit more of these games. Matt, team, take it away.
By Radar, thanks very much. Just a little bit of a technical issue on stage. There's quite a bit of tech on that stage.
There's a few things.
And there's an issue or two amongst them. But players are pretty much back in position, so we may not be far from going back to Cargo and seeing how this 3-1 progress so far in favour of Mob Squad turns out. So far, though, over the 4 rounds we've seen, we were thinking, oh, Beginners, they're a good team out of Europe. They know what they're doing. Oh, they must have some sort of pocket strats for Cargo to have picked Cargo here and not banned out down. Just tear that one up, really, and we'll carry on with Cargo in a few minutes. It's not going well.
Not at all. Mob Squad are proving to be a very formidable team no matter where you put them. And you see a lot of really good shield work coming out of them and a lot of very fast plays. So I've been loving seeing the coordination these guys have been using, where they have one member with the shield up in front, they have someone else with an LMG sitting behind, using smokes for cover to kind of push forward behind them. It's really fun to see different angles that they've been holding, and I'm having a blast watching this, and I'm learning a lot.
You're learning a lot. Yeah. I like it. We were talking a lot about the Riot Shield. We're going to see some action from it on Cargo. Well, we hoped we would. Glad that we have. We were talking about how you can't fire around it. It's shield or gun, but not when there's a second guy standing behind you.
So it's an interesting concept, isn't it? I like the way they've kind of approached that with that mentality. I think it's a really good way of kind of getting around having that pistol, and obviously you can pick up the rifle if there's one around. But no, I think overall it was really good seeing that creativity coming through. But again, you can already see the scoreline when it got to this point at 2-0. Mob Squad overall, to me, seemed a little bit more well-rounded. Plots had a phenomenal game thus far. I can only imagine he's going to go to strength to strength. But I've got to say, for me, I'm a little disappointed in Beginners always seeming to be taking the backseat, I feel. They're not the ones to initiate. We know they're passive, and I think that's a completely fair way to play the game. You don't have to be assertive, but there's that fine balance.
The rounds are particularly long as well.
Yeah, there's a fine balance between the right time to be passive and not. I think that's what... that was amazing. But no, for me, I think that's the one thing that's hindering them a bit. They have been kind of broken by Mob Squad. These guys have been very, very forceful.
Yeah, and you can see there at the very end the attempted shield usage out of Mob Squad.
Yeah.
Picking up another rifle, too. That's something you can do now. Didn't used to be an option, but now it is. If you want to go out there and grab yourself a nice big old LMG, go right ahead, but it's not going to work out very well.
I was pointing out, you might kill someone with the first shot, but after that, it's going to town and not where you wanted it to go.
Yeah, it's a big beast of a gun to handle. And there's actually a very renowned clip of an individual shooting it, and the gun can rotate back and shoot you in the head if you don't hold it with 2 hands.
That's recoil, isn't it?
Yes. A little extreme, but
I like it. It's just a physics model in this game, though, is giving us these delights. It's giving us mechanics you can take advantage of, but in a realistic way.
Yeah.
And then some fun like that, too. If you're wondering how the recoil works on this, by the way, because of course the players are holding these controllers, and so when I first saw this, I'm spending a little bit of time on it, and I'm trying to work it out. You're thinking, okay, some of the players are using that stock, some of the players are using these tubes, these different, grips to actually lock their controllers down, like we were demonstrating to you earlier on. But there is still recoil in game. Obviously, there's no feedback mechanism for your controllers to move, but the game is doing it.
Yeah, that's hopefully some next-gen tech we'll see in a year or two out. We'll be using guns that have recoil in it or something crazy. I don't know. But, yeah, you still have recoil in the guns. If you don't two-hand a rifle, you're going to have a bad time. It's not going to work out. You have to hold it with both hands, and there's interesting mechanics behind that as well. When you drop your gun, you can full sprint. When your gun comes up, your character slows down, just like you would if you were in a 2D game.
Beginners ready on stage. Mob Squad are back in position on stage. Hopefully that break won't have done too much to break the mindset that beginners were in. 3-1 is not where they wanted it to be, but that round started promisingly for them. We'll pick it back up. We'll go back over to Bowie and Radar, and let's see if beginners can turn this around or whether they're going to be in the losers bracket first thing tomorrow.
Thank you very much indeed, Matt, Pansy, and Nightfire there. We are back, obviously, where players are standing by and ready to go and get into this next game. We'll be getting that to you as soon as possible. But yeah, it's going to be, they've had a little bit of time. How are the beginners going to get by that unfortunate reset of that fifth round, should I say? But who knows? The game hasn't been played yet.
Bowie, look at me.
I'm going to look at you.
I believe they can do it.
You believe they can do it?
I believe in beginners.
Well, we've got 5 seconds to go until we're going to be getting back into this game. I believe that's Arsenic there is ready. And here we go. Round 5. Will Mob Squad get
Wow, look at this aggressive defense. Quigugan flying up the middle.
He's been doing that a lot. Him and Plots have been very... Let's go!
It's a different objective this time. Two Mob Squad not dying straight away.
Fire's been going out. Beginners with an immediate down!
No. And it's not a resible down either.
Yep, that is not the start they had last time, and that is very unfortunate.
Yep. God, that's really unfortunate. That's Peasley out, and Peasley been playing really good for them. Yeah,
Peasley's been a strong player for them indeed. Plots here.
Quigugan in a really commanding defense position. Look at that aggressive push-up on Plots.
It's just a knockdown, though. We're going to see Plots going to be following up as best he can. He's going to...
Oh, he didn't get the double tap. Killinger and Woods were ready for him.
That's really big. That's huge. 4 to 4. Plots is down. If Plots is one of Mob Squad's biggest aggressive players, that's a huge turnaround.
Yep. And he almost got that double tap again. He came around to finish it, but you know what? Beginners were ready. They waited. They didn't let their player down. A good squad sticks together.
Absolutely.
No man left behind, etc.
The squad that sticks together wins together.
I like that. We see here, beginners, you're just doing the thing. Mob Squad have found some success with the aggressive defense on this map, but they're not willing to commit more than one player. Plots goes in, gets a... Did he get the first kill? I don't know, but I think it might have been Quigugan. But Plots almost picking up a second kill. And getting punished.
This is everyone playing on tender hooks right now. This is very, very scary for everyone involved. More so for beginners, I guess. There's a little bit of a buffer on Mob Squad side, but they do not want to let up their control over this game.
Mob Squad's game to lose. It's 3-1, and they're in a defense. That means they're in the commanding position here.
Absolutely.
They can dictate the pace, which, means beginners are going to hold back and be happy with the fact that the pace is being dictated by not moving.
Yeah.
Being happy to hold the lines. I take it back. You know what? Beginners are being more proactive than I give them credit for. Look at this push-up on the east side. We've got 2 players, and they've pushed right up to the middle of the map, which...
Indeed.
I don't think they got seen. We've seen no shots snapped at them. There's lots of cover in between where they've gone to. Killinger here, though. This is a risky move.
Throwing down another smoke grenade to get a little bit of cover. Killinger falling back then again, grabbing out his pad, getting a little bit of intel.
See, I thought he was breaking right, but then he just circled back. He just did a little mini loop, and he's back to where he started.
think he's just trying to get I think he's just trying to force something from his teammates.
Oh no! Beginners just lost Sinkas.
That is important at this point. It is 3-4 and 3 points to 1 in this second map, and it looks like, well, he's getting closer to the concept. Oh, and there goes another one.
Oh no, it's down to 2 beginners now. 2 against 4 on Mob Squad. Smoils in a very similar position to where Woods just died, not able to get a refrag. We've got Killinger rushing in the middle. He's going to get taken back to Squigookan.
He got 1 KO, but Squigookan there was waiting.
It's 1 versus 3. Listen, Smoils is a very creative player. If anyone can pull this off on beginners, it's Smoils. He's a very artistic, creative player.
The thing is here, we do have a 3v1, so if we do have one player who's sticking by the objective and we have 2 hunting down Smoils, if Smoils takes down 1, he's probably going to be able to get well, they'll be able to take out Smoils with the other player remaining.
Oh, Squigookan's got him nailed down. Oh, he doesn't know he's there, but he has some inkling.
Squigookan go around the back side. Smoils needs to make something happen here.
But again, imagine the pressure Smoils under. He doesn't know how many Mob Squad are left. He doesn't know necessarily that Killinger got a kill before he went down. Smoils here. Could he take out? Squigookan's safe now.
What's really scary, though, we can't quite see it here, but there is a line that the Mob Squad have straight down the center. Oh, if Smoils crosses below those pipes, on the top right-hand side,
look, Smoils knows about Squigookan. He's searching for him. And it's over.
There it is. Mob
Squad through.
Taking it. 4-1 in that second map, and it was 4-1 in both, I believe.
It really was
5-1.
Unexpected. 5-1, 4-1, and it means Mob Squad are going to be facing off against Globochem. Wow.
That is going to be one hell of a winners finals. Beginners do drop down to the losers bracket and will be playing alongside SMC Tactical tomorrow. That will be, but
and that's going to be an interesting match to watch because, as I said, SMC are known for their upsets.
And we obviously, these guys, the Mob Squad moving forward, we're going to be seeing them play in a little bit when it comes to them playing Globochem, which is going to be a very, very exciting game.
Oh yeah, like you wouldn't believe. Like it's going to be so intense. They've got Mob Squad have got something to prove. They lost to Globochem, like I said, in the finals of the most recent season.
Yeah,
they got a lot to prove.
Yeah,
and they've proven something against beginners. They 5-1 and 4-1. That's not an accident.
Yeah, I mean, and beginners being the only ones to actually kind of beat out the Globochem thus far in one of the seasons, and I think kind of they had a lot on their shoulders in a way. They're kind of one of those teams who have beaten for lack of a better word, the champions of these seasons, so far. So with them immediately in the losers bracket, that will they've got to go a long way to get back to have another shot at Globochem if they even get that chance.
Listen, I've seen like 99% of the games the beginners have played at a competitive stage, and probably about 70% of Mob Squads. I would, if I had to write down on paper what those scores would have been, I would have been 3-4, 3-4 to one of them. It doesn't matter which one, 3-4, 3-4 to one of them.
Yeah.
And that's not what we got. We saw Mob Squad decimating beginners.
Yeah.
If I was Globochem, I would be sweating it a little bit if they're going up against them now.
I mean, and I think obviously I believe the analyst desk will go into this in a little bit more detail a bit later. But I think we should look at the 2 games that they did win, beginners, and one was a timeout and one was a very, very close 1v1 showdown. There wasn't any kind of actual strong victory.
That's a really good point. Beginners, there was never a victory from beginners where they were like, well, there's 5 of us still alive and we just destroyed you. It was by the skin of the teeth, those 2 victories. That's a really good point.
Indeed, indeed. So we do have Harry standing by on the stand, so we're going to throw it over to him with an interview with a couple of members of the Mob Squad. Harry, what have you got for us, sir?
I've got a bit for you, mate, and considering that match as well, 4-1 in both maps, and it was quite in convincing fashion as well. And the first thing I want to actually say as well is the fact that, what do you reckon made that match so convincing in your favour?
I don't know, we just had really good luck with the spawns, and we played really well. And, just in general, we played like a team, which is the most important part of any round, really.
And was there any key players in that match at all which made you help get those both 4-1s in those maps?
Definitely Squigookan on that last one, and I believe Pupachu was our best player on Suburbia, and they played really well.
And obviously the next question is, and it's a big one as well, you're playing against Globochem in the winners finals, and you've obviously played him before in the Summer Championships, and I think you did actually lose to him in the past, but now that it's offline and it's on stage now, do you feel like maybe there's some strategy you can pull up your sleeve and maybe somehow beat these guys?
I don't think the fact that it's live or like not online will change up the strategies much, but we're definitely
considering some things. I know they're probably the best team, so we're excited to see how it goes. Yeah, but I can't say any more than that.
Yeah, because obviously they're potential favourites, but you know, all things can happen. And for now, we're going to go to a break, so we'll see you in a little bit.
When you commit to a path, I guess you were on your own. Follow your dreams to a place, a space, the grace that takes you home. But let me tell you,
In zero gravity, players fly faster. Passes go farther. Strikes hit harder. Stakes get higher. And victory tastes sweeter. This is Zero G in the Echo Arena.